Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
This ain't financial advice, just a little DD to help you think twice. We hold for each other, eyes on the prize. The new floor's 200,000 times 5. I joke, I kid, no, I don't know a damn thing. I'm as simple as Bubba trying to sell some damn shrimp. Can't spell IQ, can't even count to 10. And I eat crayons every day with my friends. I think about Kenny in his ivory tower, shaking in his lily boots as the apes overpower. Must suck to lose to monkeys, so dumb. But you made your bed and you got nowhere to run. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when he makes the prize fall. And he watching as we keep on more. You forgot we on the float, blind 2 hours old. Lie, stop breaking the law, asshole.
Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
Yeah, crayon eating Lambo loving spook brain, stupid ass. Throwing all my money at the streets like a quarterback. FUD don't mean a thing, water up a duck's back. Apes not leaving nothing till we get the money stacks. Monkey see, monkey do, monkey holding to it blue. Monkey magic coming through to us monkeys on the moon. Double digit IQ, tendy loving bamboo. Right here we got more smoothies than a jumbo juice. Probably thought you coulda made us sell all the gooder. In hell we maybe woulda, but we more than the Buddha. The floor 6 figures ain't selling for less. You took on the ape nation and you're fucking with the best. We hold for each other, my sisters and my brothers, the fighters and the lovers. We don't need another fan because we huddle through hard times and struggles. Cause we're just a couple of dumps in the rubble.
Show us the fucking money. It's time to lay it on me. Cause what's mine is ours. This shit belongs to the army. Gon' need to see them Benjis. We hungry for them tendies. Give us this day our daily bread. Show us the fucking money.
Moon Gang.
Hello. What is going on? I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I hope everyone had an enjoyable Halloween. I hope you felt that you were thicker than a Snicker. I hope you had a really fun time. If you're watching football, I hope your teams won. One of mine did. The other one, season's over. Don't really want to talk about that, but I hope you had a fun time. I hope you were able to hang out with friends, family, and I hope you're ready now for a whole new week, a whole new month. Today is November 1st, Monday, November 1st. Man, just movement. I mean, we're just seeing things already moving, nice pre-market action as you're about to see. Lots of big general level pivots in the government, FOMC, the Fed meeting, all that. We have a lot going on, some important earnings. There were some fancy schmancy summits that happened over the weekend. So much to talk about. And then, I mean, I don't know, I'll probably end up rambling, but there is some things I want to talk about for me and the Moon Gang and what's going on. I don't know if you guys saw what I put on Twitter, but something for both days of the weekend. On Saturday, I witnessed a robbery, a theft. Someone had been bamboozled, hoodwinked. So obviously I need to share that story. And then yesterday, there's just a bunch of like ding dongs, like virtual Karen. So if you have any questions about that, we could talk about it. But for me, we'll just save that for later. We'll hop into that in a second. So from the high level view, as we're kicking off the month and everything going on in that realm, S&P 500 looks like we are going to gap up to a new all-time high. Looks like the first tick of the day, if we hold over the next 29 minutes, new all-time high. That's the S&P 500. Just so you know, in the month of October, all the major indices were green. The S&P 500 was up 6.9%. The Dow, we don't really track that too much, was up 5.8%. And there's NASDAQ, the Q's right here, also looks like it's gapping up to a new all-time high, gained a nice 7.2%. This one, a little bit noteworthy right now just because so many big tech companies were reporting last week. We had a lot of reports 2 weeks ago. It was Tesla last week, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, lots of things going on, but similar to the S&P 500 gapping up to a new all-time high. And then Russell right here, not a new all-time high, that would be around 234, but still looking good. We have the W, the cup and handle, the wedge, whatever you want to call it, but there are various bullish technical structures going on right now. And with all of them, as you can see in the white rectangle, just be careful, because when things, they're naturally going to decline. We're not just going to keep ripping like this. So when we start to see that weakness, that's your opportunity to play these gap fills. But until that happens, you just got to wait. You have to be patient. You just have to sit around and see what's going on. Right now, ride the trend. But when we see that weakness, all these white rectangles, that's a gap fill opportunity, and it's an opportunity to make some money. So also from a seasonal standpoint, right here, we just started November, so we're right in here. Look at this, about the first, I don't know, third, the first fourth, basically, let's just call it the first week, seasonally. This doesn't happen. It doesn't happen every single year, but just statistically over the past, I believe this is taking in 2 decades. Yeah, 2 decades, 20 years. Over the past 20 years, this is the seasonal influence. This is the S&P 500. Look at this. Very strong push for the first week of November. So if we're exclusively going off of that, I would be bullish, but of course there are other things going on. One of them right now, of course, green, green, green. But one of the things is the fact that oil is still sky high. A barrel of oil is currently costing $84. And it's getting to the point that the U.S. is kind of getting pissed off at OPEC. They're talking to them. They're like, hey, what's going on? Why are you not increasing the supply at all? Coal is sky high. Natural gas is sky high. Oil is sky high. All forms of meat. A lot of things in the tech world. We still have an entire supply chain massive issue really going on in the Pacific, right outside of the LA ports and the Long Beach ports. So crazy things going on there, but it's all things that just need to be considered from the high level view. Particularly for this week, couple interesting things. So let's kind of work this in reverse order. So this Friday, the first Friday, you're going to get the jobs report. The unemployment report, and obviously also then the jobs, because we're going to get that every Friday. But just so you know, the unemployment rate, you get that the first Friday of every single month, and then also every Friday you get a jobs report. So you're dealing with unemployment first Friday of the month, and then every Friday you're getting a jobs report. So that'll be coming out Friday. And then if we go back to Wednesday, which one is it? On Wednesday, the Fed is coming out and everyone's like, this is it. This is the time we're actually going to hear about the tapering. So if you haven't heard about this tapering of asset purchases previously, what's going on is that the Federal Reserve is like, hey, this pandemic doesn't look the best. Maybe we should try to backstop the entire economy by putting trillions of dollars into the system. They're like, cool. They gave each other the double guns. They're like, that sounds good. Make sure you switch up your portfolio before we do it, because it's going to send the market sky high. They're like, all right, cool. They got up the Robin Hood. They're like, switch. No more bonds, all stocks. Let's let it rip. They've been doing that for about the past 18 months, and it's been about $120 billion per month. The concept right now is they're at 120 billion and they're going to slowly taper down by 15 billion a month, which should get us about to mid 2022, a little bit over. So we're looking for the tapering to come to zero, but slowly, gradually. That's the anticipation. And no one is expecting interest rate hikes. Right now we're about zero until the end of next year. So those are the expectations coming into it. That's what everyone's prepared for mentally. That's what the markets have priced in. That's what crypto's priced in. That's what a lot of things have priced in. So what it's going to come down to on Wednesday is the tone, the messaging. We're seeing more and more that they're actually stopping. Like, they used to talk about it being transitory inflation as just temporary, but every single report they come out with, they're saying it less and less and less. And it's funny because you have like ding-dongs like myself in my basement here saying, I don't think inflation's transitory. And I really don't know squat about it, but I know that much. And now all of a sudden, whether they're trying to stop the public panic, whether they're trying to get reelected into their position, or maybe they're just worried about their own positions. But we've seen it as time goes on. Slowly but surely, they're using that word transitory less and less because it really does not seem like inflation is transitory. So that's on Wednesday. On Tuesday, right here along the way, the House is expected to vote as early as Tuesday on the Senate-passed infrastructure bill, the Democrats' go it alone social and climate spending package. So that could be today, could be tomorrow. Just so you know, in the world of Rona vaccines, all that stuff, Pfizer, the FDA did approve it for the 5 to 11-year-old group, but Moderna, the FDA said that they need more time. So those are some very, it's the first week here of November, lots of things going on that are going to have a pretty considerable impact. But just very quickly to kind of run off of that, the inflation thing, crypto is still holding very strong. Bitcoin currently 62,000, Ethereum 4,300, and then the list goes on and on and on. Crypto really flexing its muscles. And then just off of this Fed meeting, which is once again this Wednesday, the one thing I wanted to bring up, however, if public markets falter on the back of the Fed bonds purchase tapering, remember this Wednesday, Bitcoin could be dragged into a small correction after breaching all-time highs last week. So what they're talking about is really they're pointing out the correlation between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, as in this right here, according to the Hong Kong-based Kinetic Capital, whoever this person is, a managing partner, probably a smart cookie, is basically pointing out that Bitcoin and the S&P 500 have been riding up together. So if the Fed tapering, if that kind of scares the market, if they come in too aggressively and the market takes a hit, the expectation is that in the short term, Bitcoin itself could also take a hit. Analysts told CoinDesk last month that the Fed taper is priced in, so the market reaction will depend on the Fed's language on inflation and the timing of the first interest rate hike. Once again, the expectation for that is the end of 2022. We're not even talking about 2021 at all for the interest rate hike. While equities and Bitcoin have remained resilient, things may change if the Fed's statement carries fewer references to inflation being transitory, which it probably will. That would perhaps imply policymakers' growing discomfort with high inflation and validators' fear of faster rate hikes, in turn bringing selling pressures to equities and Bitcoin. So that's one person's opinion just to consider. I just wanted to bring it up to everyone, but right now I'm still very, very happy with what's going on in the world of crypto. Biden to tout environment efforts at UN Climate Change Summit. So there was the G20 summit this past weekend, and a really strange, rumor came out about the president in Rome, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I think what's interesting right here is CNBC. The G20 summit in Rome, which Biden attended, ended Sunday with agreement to formalize a pledge to cut off international subsidies for coal-fired power plants. So what's really interesting about this climate stuff, or at least I personally find interesting, is how wishy-washy it all is. So the actual quote from what's going on here, the result of the G20 summit, is basically they're like, we agree that we should be carbon neutral by about, but maybe not exactly, but sometime in the time frame of the mid-century. That's the overall official thing that they came on. They're like, yeah, maybe around the middle. So really no hard facts from it, but there is another summit coming up, Glasgow, Scotland, I believe this upcoming week. So interesting things there. Barclays CEO Jess Staley quits after Jeffrey Epstein probe. We all know about Jeffrey Epstein and this craziness and the connections. And hey, he's a billionaire. He was connected to a lot of other rich people. Lots of awkward interviews coming out. This was pretty awkward. A recent Bill Gates one was awkward. And a lot of people, it's funny. It's not funny. I guess it's like a morbid, dark comedy that this is insane. The entire thing's insane. I don't even know how much I could talk about it, or YouTube's going to send in a SWAT team and take me out. So whatever, do your own research on that one. American Airlines cancels nearly 2,000 flights since Friday. So apparently in the South, Dallas, Fort Worth, crazy weather. Carrier blame staffing problems and high winds. So This kind of has that same vibe of Southwest, where it was really staffing problems and they just blamed other things. So I don't know if anyone was in this area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, was weather actually that bad? Because they're like, yeah, it was weather, but also like, let's just throw in staffing, where we saw this with Southwest previously, where they tried to blame it on like other things, but it was clearly staffing issues. Like it was kind of a stand up against the vax. So I'm not in Texas. I don't know what the weather was like, but I'm curious, was the weather bad enough to actually cancel so many flights? We've seen this exact same rhetoric, like the exact same rhetoric with Southwest. Kind of interesting stuff. Definitely interesting. All right. So actually, I do have some news that I want to talk about specific to AMC and specific to GME. So let's kick it off with AMC. Venom 2, No Time to Die, fueled October ticket sales, leading to the best box office month of 2021. Very exciting stuff. October had the best ticket sale haul at the domestic box office of any month in 2021, generating $638 million in receipts. Many of the films released during the month were slated to open earlier in the year, but were postponed due to the pandemic. Cinemark said October was the company's highest grossing box office performance in the COVID-19 era. Moviegoers ventured out to see No Time to Die, Venom, Halloween Kills, Dune. That's exciting stuff. From a fundamental perspective of a rebound play of people going to the theaters, that's very, very exciting. And on top of it, we know that AMC has the most market share. So yes, people going to theaters, like a rising tide raises all ships, but the ship that's going to get raised the most is AMC, because right now AMC in the world of the theatrical experience is top dog, and big dog's got to hunt. So that's very exciting. But on top of it, so we're going to find out more. We're going to get the exact information, not today, but in 1 week, November 8th, right here. AMC Entertainment to report Q3 results November 8th after markets close. So for quite a while, people assumed it was today. And the reason that happened is you have these websites like NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, that from the previous quarters, they just kind of estimate, but we're all kind of awkwardly waiting around for the company to announce. The company finally announced it actually over the weekend that it will be November 8th. So not after the market closes today. AMC will report a week from today on Monday, just so you know, we're all up to date there. And it's going to be 5 p.m. East Coast time. So just so we're all on the same page. And let me just go over the up-to-date numbers right now. So for AMC, the estimated short interest, a hair below 17%, shares on loan 105.3 million, utilization 87.6%. And the average duration of all of these shares on loan coming in just below 75 days. I'll do the technicals of AMC and GME together. But speaking of GME, we have a little bit of a kind of strange fundamental update. I guess a leadership strategic update. And I already saw that Kramer was jumping on this one, kind of bashing the apes. GameStop Chief Operating Officer Owens leaves after 7 months. So I actually remember her like announcing the news. They kind of poached her from Amazon, and it was exciting. Someone like came in, but it was, I don't know. It's interesting now. And this is exactly what Kramer's jumping on. So we have Jenna Owens. GameStop did not provide a reason for Owens' departure, which is effective immediately. The company said in a regulatory filing that it and Owens had reached a separation agreement, which is typically negotiated when companies and their executives do not see eye to eye. The company declined to comment beyond the filing. Owens could not immediately be reached for comment. So that's what's going on. There's a lot of rumors, and I'm not here to hop more onto rumors. I don't know. I just want to give that update. But you're going to see some things, especially people who are anti-GameStop, especially we're already seeing it from some of the mainstream media of like apes, like they're calling it out, but we don't know the reasoning at all. It's all conjecture at this point. Before we go on to the technicals of the day, just so you know, Spotify had reported they're doing well. This week, these are the earnings. Some of the main ones, Pfizer before the market opens tomorrow, and then Moderna before the market opens on Thursday. So you're going to get a little bit of like kind of a COVID update there from both Pfizer and Moderna. Roku after the close on Wednesday. We have DraftKings and Coinbase before the market opens on Friday. And was there anything else? I mean, obviously there's more, but those are just the main ones that I think I kind of picked out and see that people have asked me about in the past. Marathon, maybe get an oil update there. Activision, maybe an esports update there. That's after Tuesday close. If you want to check this out, you can find this on Earnings Whisper. It's a Twitter account. I have no idea who they are. I'm not affiliated with them. I just really like what they do. They make it easy to see the major earnings announcements. All right, now let's talk a little bit about technicals. So first, AMC, we're getting about a 50 cents gap up today. Earlier, it was at 36. I really just want to see this swing back around and getting above this trend line. So for today, that would be around 36.50. And I'm still, hopefully, knock on wood, in the short term, we're looking for that gap up to 38.80, which is the low on October 21st. Right here, we have this gap, this untested area. 38.80 is my first target. Just so you know, we now have support at 34.5, but there's more support at 33, about 75. So right below 34. So we'll just take that 75 cent range, the high 33s to the mid 34s. That's where the current AMC support is. In terms of GME, I like this swing back around. At this point, I'm looking for it to stay above 180, 175, and I would love to see the test between 188, 190. We've talked about that a lot. It's a clear region of supply. A lot of people are willing to sell at that level for whatever reason. So we're hoping that there's enough demand to carry us through that. And with it, there are various things that I think could move it, but if I had to just throw out a wild guess right now as it relates to GameStop, it really would be something related to their NFT development, whatever's going on in that world. And right now we know there's a lot of excitement between Loopring because there's an assumption that Loopring will be hired to do NFT development for GameStop. So you have some things going on there, but I think getting more into this world of crypto is a very smart move. And I think it might take time. Like I wouldn't hold my breath on it. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but I think it's a nice direction for GME to take. Similar to AMC, I'd like to see AMC get more into crypto. They're accepting crypto as payment, but I think there are creative ways that the company could further really dive into the world of crypto. So that's AMC, GME, kind of a wrap up of where we're at right now. You know, we're at an all-time high in the SPY. We're at an all-time high in the Qs, and Russell 2000, I'm really looking at 230. All of those, they're green, they're holding strong. Of course, it's Monday, it's the start of a new month. I am going to wait, as always, especially on the Monday, just to see how things shake out right at market open. I like to wait those first 15, 20, 30 minutes just to see if everyone's going to accept it or if they're just going to be locking in them tendies and do something like that. I don't know. For me, I'm still in Tesla, and I don't know. It was down. I know. It's crazy. That's how good at trading Tesla I am. I am long on Tesla. I have calls on Tesla, and I'm still down by a considerable percentage. That's a skill set. Like, I don't even know if that could be taught. Like, this is just an inherent talent of mine of no matter what I do with Tesla, I am wrong. I could get everything right, and it's like, nah, you're still going to lose money. So I was thinking about making a course on how you guys could all lose so efficiently on Tesla the way that I do. But I just don't know if I could bottle up that skill set. I'd really have to think about how I pull that off. Overall, though, EV is still looking very strong. We're seeing impressive delivery numbers. Previously, Tesla has Lucid finally delivering theirs as of October 30th. Xpeng, they came in. They're doing really well. They delivered 10,000, which is like a 230% increase. We're seeing just the sector of EV doing very, very well right now. And it's coming at a time where the deliveries are higher, the technology is improving, but on top of it, oil is super expensive. And the name of the game with EV is really, when is it going to hit a price parity with common gasoline and diesel vehicles? Well, the price parity point is easier for EV as obviously gas and diesel goes up because oil is sky high. So you have a couple things that are all coming together. It makes sense to me that Tesla and the EV sector, which is going to be led by the granddaddy of them all, Tesla, is doing very, very well right now. Now, the joke of my like crappy options trading aside, I'm still very bullish. Like in my long-term portfolio, I own a bunch of these stocks where I'm not messing around with options and I'm just sitting, waiting. I think it's a good play for the remainder of the decade. I truly do. I like the EV sector. I like the cloud computing sector. I like the esports sector, the online sports gambling sector. Those are major ones that, as I'm just seeing data analytics as well, all of those, their growth, their acceptance by society, the success of the companies, I think from now until the end of the decade. Also, the marinara sector is another one. Those sectors, I'm more than happy to own the leading companies within them and just sit some more, because I think there's just quite a bit of money to be made. So that's kind of your EV breakdown. We did AMC, GME, the overall markets. It's going to be a lot of things reporting. We have some political movements as early as today. Tomorrow, we have the Fed talking on Wednesday. We have the unemployment rate on Friday. There's going to be some movement, and I'm hoping it's to the upside. And seasonally, that would make sense. Now, just before we really get, we're a couple minutes out from the bell going ding, ding, ding. Crypto, we're seeing a bunch of different breakouts. So Bitcoin, I saw a bit of this bull flag right here. It shoots up. Parallel channel down, breaking out. Would love to see Bitcoin get above 63,000 and hold, even better above 64,000. Ethereum trying to get its own breakout just below 4,400. SHIB also breaking out right here, 72. Would love for this to recapture 80 and then 90, but also getting this trend line breakout. Matic, I'm just watching it right now. All of these on the screen, just so you know, I'm in them, I'm long, I own them. I have no plans to sell in the short term. I'm just looking to ride it higher and higher and higher. I did see this interesting article related to SHIB. This is an opinion piece, so take it for what you like want it to be. But I just thought this was interesting. Average trade size, major cryptocurrencies. So the green one on the bottom here, it's just the average trade size, which, and as like the dates are going on, as you can see, kind of small, like relative to Bitcoin, relative to Ethereum. SHIB is small, and if you really dive into it, and this is kind of an interesting opinion piece, to me, it just shows that it's retail driven. When you're seeing a vast amount of smaller purchases, very common that that's being pushed by retail. So I mean, I think that's something we all assumed, like, oh, okay, like we know just retail is very, very excited about this. And of course, are there some whales? Yeah, of course, there's always going to be some whales involved, but the large subset of it is strongly going to be retail pushing this. And with that, I think that just tells us what other tools can we use. And when you, at least the way I think of it, when you see something that we have the stats that tells us it's retail is really pushing it, well, that means you can use these other tools to kind of track what's going on. Google Trends, how many times are people in the public just searching it? You could use like various subreddits to see how active they are. That means you could be checking out the trends. So when you know it's being retail driven, think about the tools that now allows you to use to get a better insight to what retail is currently thinking about it. Can it change like on the drop of drop of a hat and all of a sudden be institutional? Well, yeah. But in the meantime, use your social media skills and those analytics, because that's what's driving it right now. So in terms of making a better decision, I like to know these breakdowns to know exactly what tools I should or shouldn't be using at that moment in time. I just thought it was something interesting to point out. I think it was a big assumption of a lot of ours, but to actually see the metrics of it right now kind of verifies maybe the bias that a lot of us already previously had. All right. Now, people are asking me about Prague. Let me bring that up over here. Prague, Proggers. I am in Prague, just so everyone knows I am long on Prague. The estimated short interest is of around 40%. Utilization 99.86. Shares on loan 35.86. Remember, just because something has a high short interest, it's a prerequisite. Oh, it has that? Cool. It has the capability of moving. It's not like the higher the short interest, that means that there is a greater chance of like actually squeezing. It's a prerequisite. Think of it as a checklist, not as a gradient of like there's a greater likelihood of it squeezing of 40 versus 50%. The higher it goes, that tells you the higher the proverbial ceiling, but it doesn't increase the odds of a squeeze. What do you think about Party City? Any squeeze here? I don't know anything about Party City. One of the things I would argue with the squeeze is, especially if it's being retail driven, I expect a lot of people to be talking about it, and I haven't heard anyone mention Party City. Krista Ann, thank you for that super emote. Hugh, sitting in the car by myself, waiting for work to kick off, trapped in here with my own farts. They're smelling awfully Elon Musky. Buying Tesla options as a result, not financial advice. Leonardo, what is the next court date for the SEC versus Citadel? It's not scheduled. And what is the next catalyst for AMC? The next fundamental catalyst would be the earnings announcement a week from now. The court case will not be a catalyst. That more relates to market structure, but the date is not set because like you're just waiting for the judges to deliberate. Can you look at Medics for us? Yes. Morning, Thick Boy. Have a good day. Shout out. Not a hedge fund. Medics. So I see a lot of people talking about this one. It's not my cup of tea just because I do not like penny stocks. But if we took out the magnitude of the value, I do like the chart a little bit. I mean, I probably would have been done on Friday when it actually gap filled. I would have been like, okay, we finally got this gap fill, like done, time to lock it in. That's probably how I would have played it if I was in there. So for right now, I don't know. Like you're going to have to see if it just continues to have momentum. That's probably the only thing I would really, I guess, suggest on this one. But for me, let's say that there was a tenth of if the multiple moved over and we're trading at $6, and if I happen to be in it and we just took this overall structure, I probably would have been done on this gap fill from the low of September 1st. Personally, I'd be a little bit worried about the gap fill from the high on the 22nd to the downside with it. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not for it. I'm not against it. It's just, I know where my skill set lies, and it's not in penny stocks. If you're in it, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you crush it. I hope it goes up 100x. I hope you make a buttload of money, a boatload of money. I hope you make it all, both of them, all three of them. Put them together. It's just not my thing. All right, we are there. All right, I don't think I have enough time because this will probably end up becoming quite a freaking rant. So we'll wait till after the bell rings for me to address everything from over the weekend. Let me drop to the 1 minute as we have 90 seconds until the market goes dingity ding ding ding. Dingity ding ding ding. Low volume on Prague this morning. Lucid getting a lot of attention, and rightfully so. Lucid's looking good. ANY is at 644. Tesla looking good. Okay, let's get ready. All right. Occam's Phaser, what's going on? Just so you know, I also got your message early this morning. It's not even 3:54 for a Matt rant. Let's get ready, folks. Let's get ready. We are seconds out. 45 seconds. Get ready. Buy and hold Lucid on fundamentals. That's what I would agree with. I wouldn't be that interested in Lucid for a potential short play. I just like it actually as a company that I'd want to be invested in for a while. Where's SHIB at? SHIB is at 72. If that breaks 75, especially 80, let me know, because that thing could easily get moving. What is this tax crap with crypto? Is there a new update on the tax? Ding, ding, ding. The casino is open. Let's get going. All right. Am I finally in profit with my Tesla? Let's see how this is. Who knows? Let me load this up. I'm up 3%. After all of that, like this running a massive percentage, and I'm up nothing. Offensive. Well, let's see if this keeps going. Wow, GameStop is getting like no volume. Whoa, 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 whoa. GameStop, what are you doing, man? GameStop hasn't even traded 50,000 shares. That is low volume. We need the crowd to get reinvigorated into that one. That thumbnail is disturbing. All right. AMC 3540 traded 1.4 mil. That's even low as well. We're just seeing both AMC and Jimmy thus far. I get it. We're only a minute in, but usually on like a Monday morning, people over the weekend, especially news related to both of them, you would think that there would be some sort of like action. Some sort of action. All right. Do we have any breaking news? S&P 500 hit a new record high this morning. Yes, it did. Wow. Dingity ding ding ding, folks. New all-time high. Man, GameStop is just nothing. No action, not moving. All right. Well, we can't waste chart space on that. Let's throw the SPY up over there. Let's throw IWM over here. Movers. We need movers. And the Dow just hit a new record high. So both the S&P 500 and the Dow hit a new record high. Wow. Did the Qs as well? Seeing a lot of record highs. And the Qs did as well. So the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the Dow 30 all hit a new all-time high. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Tesla's going the wrong way. Federal contractors get broad flexibility. All right, we get that. What else do we have? Do you still have puts on DWAC? I do. But I have about 2 weeks on them. Obviously, I'd feel way more comfortable if DWAC was lower, because the idea for me was to get it before they launched the beta. DWAC, the Truth Social company, is going to be the plan is for them to roll out their beta this month. And obviously, if they do that, that's going to be some positive news. And I think people, there's going to be a bullish reaction to it. So the time frame of my play is, it's not looking the best right now. Not looking the best at the moment. But we'll see how this one plays out. What else do we have? Any other? I'm looking for Tesla to swing back around. Obviously, SHIB is coming back up to 73 right now. IWM is moving. SHIB is looking good. Whoa. SHIB is really looking good right now. Look at this. Same highs, but higher lows, showing some strength. So congrats if you're in SHIB. It looks like hopefully it's going to be a nice green day. AMC with that bounce, tagging 36. Remember to get back up into that wedge. We want about 36.50. It would be very, very nice for AMC to get above that. GME is at 184, which is a nice day. It's just like non-existent volume. We've traded 81,000 shares 4 minutes into the day, almost 5 minutes into the day. Nice price gain. It's up 0.7%. AMC's up 1.8%. I just very much question where all the GameStop volume's at. Don Little. You wouldn't know because Matt doesn't care about it anymore. Don, you know the weekend I had. I'm going to just ask you. I don't have time for this. He doesn't care about it anymore. Don, you're gone forever. We're not playing games. I'm not going to give anyone the benefit of the doubt today. I'm just in one of those moods. If I feel like your tone's off, gone, out of my life, baggage off my back. She's like, probably like shit. Permaban. She's probably mad now. I've probably just created like a lifelong enemy. She's like, well, why did I? It wasn't even that bad. Doesn't matter. I'm going full Tony Soprano on this entire thing. I do what I want. Don's adding, doesn't care about it anymore. At Thick Kohrs got Starbucks calls for November 12th, 110 thoughts. First options play for me. Thanks for options videos. Hey, Space Base Moto Guru AMC GME SHIB. Quite the name. Let's check out Starbucks. So, okay, you're playing the gap fill, which I like. So here's how I would play it. Would you play November 12th? So you gave yourself 2 weeks. Okay. I would just risk 104 and try to ride that trend up to 112. I like it. You did it at 110. Solid. I mean, there's some support here, which might act as resistance. But yeah, if you can get that gap fill, I do think the gap will get filled. The question is just time. And now that you're playing options, like you're trying to throw it in saying, oh, it has to happen by November 12th, ideally as quickly as possible. Can it happen? 100%. I like the gap fill. It's just, I think it's a solid play. You're just at the point now of having to wait to see if it happens that rapidly. And that's the luck aspect of it. Matt, we need to sacrifice. I remember when you used to sacrifice to Greg. Love the channel. Shout out, Sev. FSR looking good with call options on the 19th. FSR, Fisker. Yeah, it's just the EV world is looking very good right now. Lucid's up 3%. Tesla's up 1.76%. FSR up. XPEV up. Probably NIO's up. Why did you have a bad weekend? PSU lost. I mean, okay, first of all, we could have won that game. I don't know how many people watched the Penn State Ohio State game. I think we performed better than anyone expected. And it's a bummer. Like, we could have won. We just, I don't know. The wheels came off at the end. And before this game, there was an opportunity if we won out for things to work out. We would have to beat Ohio State, Michigan State, and Michigan. There was like a pathway that things could have worked. But now with 3 losses, the season's kind of done so, unfortunately. So hopefully they come back next year. Like, we're not going to get probably a good bowl game or definitely not going to get into the playoffs. Not going to get into the Big Ten championship. It's just, hey, it's a season. Hey, the Eagles won. I don't know how many people are Lions fans, but the Eagles spanked them. So that was fun. That was good to watch. How did the Vikings game? I was talking with Trey yesterday. No, he got me to bet on the Vikings and they lost. Shoot. All right. Well, that's the last time I bet on Trey's Vikings. Oh, man. No earnings on AMC today. No, it is the official announcement came out and it's a week from today. It's November 8th after market closes. I'm a Lions fan. All I know is pain. I think there's a opportunity that the Lions do not win a game this year. Why would you ever bet on the Vikings? I mean, you guys have listened to Trey. He's a very convincing person. He's like, I have a good feeling about it. I was like, all right. He knows about the Vikings and he tells me he has a good feeling. So I went with it. I guess the good feeling did not pan out. Maybe he meant the good feeling was for next week. All right. Matt just went full Edward Scissorhands on Dawn. LOL. Can you give me an opinion on Lucid 40 call December 3rd? Joseph, I actually like that. Sorry to deal so much jealousy, hate. Okay, yeah, I think this is a good time to, I guess, really give it to you guys, almost like an AMA thing. If you have any questions about my commentary from over this weekend, for those of you who are like, wait, what? Like, I'm not addicted to social media and I actually spent time with my family and friends, Matt. I need you to spill the tea on what happened. A completely different story, but an interesting story nonetheless. On Saturday, I saw a robbery, a theft. That was crazy. On Sunday, I don't know. There's always a lot of troll accounts, like sad, pathetic keyboard warriors. And in a certain way, me being a human, it's weird because I feel like you balance out your human tendencies of like, hang on, that person's lying, and you feel the need to defend yourself. But when you get to like being, I guess, like known within a movement, sometimes you think about that. You're like, okay, like, is this best for the movement? Like, so you have the human emotions of like being angry, that when you just get angry at someone for what you believe to be like a blatant lie, wrong, just missing it, yada, yada, yada. And then on the other side of that, you're balancing that out. And I sit there, and 99% of the time, I am fully aware. It's just don't respond. They're trolls, they're haters, they're jealous. Like, how many times have people, like, you've seen it, of super chats? Folks, do I make money in super chats? Yeah, I make money. I make money off of YouTube. I make money off of sponsorship deals. You know why? Because that's the value. You get paid according to your value. I took the risk. It's a high risk, high reward situation. I quit my job and I said, I'm going to do this thing full time. And the value comes from various things: education, entertainment, my rants, whatever it is. People send me money just to be a troll to the other people who don't want to send me money. I took that risk, and I built this brand, I built this career, and I'm just going to ride that all the way to the moon. And when you do that, of course, there are people who have their own opinions, and it's pure jealousy. Seriously, if you think this is easy, if you think handling all of this is in any way an easy path, I implore you to try it. Seriously, do I make good money? Yes, I make good money. So if your goal is to make money and you think this is a joke of a job that anyone can do, give it a try. Like, I'm trying to show you this is a very valid business model. So if you think it's easy and you're mad about the money I make, why would you not try to do this then? And I think what you're going to realize is when you start doing it, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. There's very, very high highs and there's very low lows. The bandwidth of your day to day is absolutely insane. It's very, very jarring. So anyway, with being large in this movement, being known within this movement, I am very well aware as a human. Just don't respond. 99% of the time, you have jealous, pathetic keyboard warriors who that's exactly what they are. And I wish I could tell them that, like, directly to their face. But I don't know, like, also just being a human, like, some days you're just not having a good day, or some day you're just like not willing to put up with anyone's bullshit. So I read through all these, and most of the time I'm like, dumb. But yesterday I read one and I was like, all right, let's get into it. There's a ton of work I should be doing, but let's put this to bed. Was that a good decision? Probably not, but at least I think it's a good decision for one reason, and I'll be sharing that. But first of all, what happened was basically you just had some asshat lines like, Matt doesn't have a possession. Matt does not have a AMC JMA possession. And what's crazy about that is people just believe it. They're like, I saw this on a tweet from a dumbass account. Like, people seriously believe that. What is going on in our world, in our society, where someone just reads a Twitter account, like a comment from some random ass account, and they're like, must be true. So this guy just said, Matt does not own AMC or GME. And then the comments under it were just like, I knew I didn't like him. What? That's all you need to convince people? Like, what in the world is going on that's like enough reason for people? And then you realize it's just like people who already disliked you, and then they're looking for an additional reason to dislike you. They're just going to pile in and be like, they're looking for their own confirmation bias, because I would suspect they've achieved borderline nothing with their own life and they're just sad people. So anyway, I teed it up. I was like, all right, Matt, you're a petty asshole. It's time to really flex that pettiness of yours. And I was like, okay, if I can prove you are blatantly lying, delete your account. And of course they won't, because they're a sad keyboard warrior and it's the only pseudo fulfillment that they get in their life. I wouldn't even call it real fulfillment. And then I decided to provide that proof. I was like, no, I'm in it. Like, right here. And I wrote that letter for everyone. I showed the proof. I'm in it. I've been in it. I'm gonna be in it. I don't know what else to say. But what's upsetting to me is, and this is gonna go against the grain, there are gonna be other people who do not agree with it. Other people who are quote unquote large within this community, and maybe you agree with them, maybe you don't. But here's my thought. Owning AMC, owning GME does not make you an ape. Maybe at one point in time, that's how it was defined. But in my book, and I know I don't have the authority to define it. I'm not the like ape oracle, the ape governor. This is just my own opinion. Take it for all that it is. Being an ape is to me, in my heart, is a person who's fighting for market transparency and fairness. It has nothing to do. If you're like, no, well, I'm an ape because I'm in these stocks and I want to make a lot of money. Okay, like you're a trader and you're an investor, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I want you to make a lot of money. But to me, an ape is a person who has started to realize that this world has been built up in like kind of a bullshit way that favors a lot of people. And now with all the information and the rise of digital communities and technology, we're starting to really hone in on specific issues within our system. So it's a group of people. To me, it's an individual person who's fighting to fix like serious systemic risks. I don't think people have really internalized. We were potentially days away in January from everything going kaput. Seriously, think about that. Like, a lot of people, the focus is on like, wait, they took money from me. Like, okay, yes, that is a big deal. But think of how we got there. Take that the next step farther of like, okay, so you're telling me that they took money away because they got rid of the buy button, which is 100% factually true. The bigger issue is this. Think about how that actually probably went down. Most likely, if I had to guess, and this is just me just throwing a freaking Hail Mary out there, but I strongly believe I am right. The insanity of late January happened. Citadel Securities, Robinhood, and the SEC all get on the phone together. And they're like, this is bad. We got to do something. The SEC is like, okay. The NSCC, the DTCC, Robinhood, Citadel Securities, they're all there. They laid it out and they said, we have two options. Option one is we stop retail. We stop retail from buying, because if we do not, everything goes down. This was a systemic risk, as in all of Wall Street could have gone down, brought to its knees. If all of Wall Street goes down, the U.S. economy goes down. If the U.S. economy goes down, you're talking about the world economy going down. So to them, think about this. This was the lesser of two evils. You have two options. You screw over the entire world, or you screw over a subset of people who like are owning these equities. Those were the two options, and they went with the lesser of two evils. And I am very happy I did not have to make that decision. That's an impossible position to be in. You know what the real problem is the structure that got us to that point. That binary situation of two very bad decisions has not been fixed. And right now, they've already laid out the blueprint that this is possible. The GME blueprint has been laid out from January. The AMC blueprint has been laid out from June. Before, when people thought this was never, ever, ever possible, we're now seeing insanity far more often, which tells me that, yes, when it happened, it was a 5 Sigma event, as in very, very, it's not supposed to happen. 1 in 3.5 million. But now you're seeing the cadence of this increase and increase and increase. And the problem here is the fact that everything was brought to its knees, almost brought to its knees, by a freaking video game seller. That's insane. And the problem is not fixed. And this was kind of a realization I had in my most recent discussion with Dave Lauer, which, if you haven't seen that, that's a very, very good video. We talk about exactly this. This is not a, oh, I'm in AMC, I'm in GME thing. This is for people who are living in any normal society or culture, because this is the actual problem. And it's one of these things that when I articulate it this way, I sit there and I'm like, damn, like, how tight is my tinfoil hat getting, Matt? Like, I sit there and I'm like, are you right? And I'm like, and then like, I kind of had these conversations with people such as Lisa Brunganza, Mark Cohodes, Dave Lauer, the team over at IEX, and I expressed these thoughts, and I'm like, I get it. I'm 27. There's a lot more I need to learn about the market, but like, am I right? Like, is it truly that crazy? Because everyone, like, you get into that conspiracy theory, and it's hard because like it didn't actually happen, so people tend to care less about it unless the bad thing actually happened. And this one, it was avoided, and it's just the group of AMC, GME, and the other highly shorted stocks, all those related sympathy plays. That's the group that's got screwed over. But in this scenario, like, that's insane. Like, understand the picture of what we're really fighting for. Like, I don't think, like I said, how I started off portion 18 of this particular rant is the world needs to internalize how close we were to being utterly fucked because of one single equity. That is insane. That is truly insane that we could have gone down as a world economy because of a video game selling company. That's insane. And those issues of how we could have gotten there have not been fixed. To me, an ape is a person who's attempting to fix that because it impacts everyone. Yes, you could say it's anyone in the market, but you could take it to the next level and say anyone that's just in our economy because things would have been bad. And then I see commentary of like some people respond, they're like, let it collapse. I mean, that's something easy to fire off on social media. Like that was like a common response I read over the weekend when I was trying to express this, especially in that interview with Mr. Lauer. They're like, oh, let it collapse. What? No. What kind of like bullshit anarchist thing is that? Let it collapse? Do you know how many hundreds of thousands, millions of people would die if we just let it collapse? The people who are already just making it by, that are already living like on the edge of fucking survival, and then some asshats are like, let it collapse. Let it collapse? You are literally saying there's no difference in that statement than saying let people die. That's insane. You fix it. You don't blow it all up and be like, all right, let's rebuild. You fix it. It's a leaking hole right now, and we have the ability to fix the hole. That doesn't make you take down the entire goddamn ship. That's insane. That is insane. That thought process is so incredibly dangerous to be like, I didn't get enough money on this stock. I'd prefer that the entire system go down. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. And it's to this point that you're actually now, probably unbeknownst to you, commenting on the fact that you want people to die. It's not that. There's some fact with every single percentage point that the stock market drop, X amount of people die, because there's a lot of money involved in the market that relates to healthcare, food programs, school programs. So many government-based programs are still tied up with value from the market. If that goes kaput, there's a lot of people who are going to be in a whole world of shit. And it's a very dangerous concept to have that. It's very, very dangerous to have that. So anyway, I don't even know how I got to this point. Over the weekend, I think our efforts are best spent really getting into this. Like, I think we all need to dedicate the time to the best of our ability, get to Dave Lauer's understanding of the market, to the best of our ability, getting to Lisa Brunganza's understanding of how the SEC works, to the best of our ability to get to Mark Hodis's level of how shorts look at the situation. That's where our time is spent. That's where our time should be spent. But you know where it's spent instead? Just like the fucking dipshits that I guess we deserve because it's social media. People are instead fighting. I had no idea about this. The CNBC article mini doc came out last week, and I was like, okay, cool. I think they showed us in a fair light. It was not until Sunday. That came out on Thursday or Friday. It was not until Sunday, I swear on my life, that people had an issue with thinking that I started some dumbass hashtag because they cut it. Seriously? Do people think that Trey or I decide the production cuts of a mini doc from CNBC? They just showed it. They panned out. They showed hashtag whatever, something related to Ken Griffin, which honestly, in all of the hashtags that have gotten going, that's probably one of my least favorite ones. Like out of all of them, like it's fine, but like, I don't know. I think there's better ones. I had no clue. Right hand up to God that people thought I was taking credit for it. And then I was like, that's weird. Like, first of all, I didn't. I will willfully admit I didn't. Like, that's stupid. But also, like, the assumption of just getting it from how CNBC shows things, like, that we're talking about like a single digit IQ analysis of what was going on, folks. Trey and I do not make production cuts. What? It's comical to think about that. And then I really started to ponder what was going on there. And it struck me like a freaking train that's what these people care about. As much as Trey and I get attacked, be like, you're clout tracing, you're just trying to build a brand. What? We have people literally arguing, I started that trend, I started that hashtag, that's me, give me credit. What? talk about people who only care about their own brand and not actually what's going on. It's insane. I do not give two shits. I am literally incapable of caring less about who starts a trend or who says this or who says that. I care about the truth of the situation and spreading that to as many people as we can possibly spread all of that to. But if people's biggest concern is this person has this many followers, oh, they said this in this video, I started this hashtag, I do not know how to make this more explicitly clear to all the haters watching right now, to all of my, whatever percentage my hate view is at. Grow the fuck up. I do not know how to make that more clear. You are a child. You are probably in an adult body of some sort, but your psychosocial development is that of a 12-year-old in middle school who's trying to get into the Mean Girls Club. Grow the fuck up. This is insane. We are talking about billions, if not trillions dollars of a system, political collusion, government, and they're like, I started this hashtag. We are so far off base on what we're trying to do. And then this social media thing, it's so many accounts. So anyway, before I get way too pissed off about these fucking clowns, if you're going to stick around here, this that stuff, it's such a waste of time. And the social media, I put it out there, people, because the biggest attack, they're like, Matt doesn't own it. I was like, you know what? I'll shut him up. And the reason I decided to shut him up, because most of the time I was like, you're stupid. This is a waste of my time. I did this I know I have a lot of very, very loyal followers. And then I know I also just have followers who like me. So it's for that mid group. I'm never going to ever be able to convert the keyboard warriors. People who dislike me, they dislike me. There's nothing I could do. I could cure cancer and they're going to be like, he did take that $1.99 super chat though. So you got to weigh that out. I'm never going to get those people. But the people in the middle who they're like, oh, I like Matt, but I'm also seeing more about this thing, for that little percentage doubt in their mind, I wanted to erase that. So for the people who are like, okay, I like Matt, I like what's going on, but I'm seeing a lot of this other bullshit and it seems weird. I see people bandwagoning. For the people who just maybe didn't know the definitive truth and you had that little percentage doubt in your own mind, I decided, you know what? I'm going to remove all of that doubt from their mind. I know the loyal supporters are already like, yeah, this is dumb, but kind of the people in the middle, I figured I'm going to bring all of those people over, definitive proof, and we can all move on with our life. So we actually have now the time and the energy to focus on, in my opinion, what's actually important. And from that, it's so easy now. I gave all of you the proof that if you hear something of oh, Matt did this, Matt did that, Trey did this, Trey did that. No, just smash it right back in their face. They're full of shit. They're wasting your time. They're wasting their own time. They're wasting the community's time. And we could just go back to focusing on truly impactful things. And they're going to be on our coattails. Get it? In a weird way, our success, we're bringing a bunch of people who are literally just riding our coattails. As a community, there's people who shouldn't be in this, and for whatever reason they are. And our success as we drive forward, it's going to benefit them. And I get it, because it's not like this is going to be exclusively a benefit to everyone that we like. There are going to be people who come along that we're like, we don't like them, but whatever. They're attached to us because they happen to be involved in these stocks or for whatever reason. But that's fine, because to me, I'm focusing on the amount of amazing people who are now involved in this, who they're learning, they're fighting for the right thing, and I think they are just truly good human beings. I'm focusing on the benefit to that group, and if you end up bringing a couple asshats with you along the way, okay, whatever, they got lucky. But the outpouring of messages I got, it was incredible. The amount of truly awesome, incredible, just the messages, the things that I was receiving over the past 48 hours. So many truly good human beings out there. And I mean that, at just a deep core level, just awesome people. And it makes me proud. It makes me proud to be able to talk to 10,000 of you and to explain what's going on and to have fun day in and day out. And when you see it, I think sometimes on my side of the camera, that can be lost a little bit. But it's, I guess, events like this that kind of remind you of like the reason of like why I'm in it, just because there's so many cool people. I'm learning so many cool personal stories about where people are coming from, their mindset on everything. And that makes me just double down, basically telling all those other people to just like fuck off, get out of my way, because you're on a mission, I'm on a mission, we're all on a goddamn mission going forward, and you just don't have time at all for people like that. All right. Where are we at? Now I miss a lot of these. Can we still talk about how buff you are? Thick Kohrs. Yeah, we're going to keep up the thick Kohrs thing. Why not? I thought the 2 quid went to thick ducks. Bro, I've been witnessing a robbery since February in my P&L meme maker. What's going on, Randall? Betting for a Vikings win. Yeah, I mean, they were favored. I actually took the spread. I took Vikings -4. Now I'm upset. What do you think about SafeMoon? I don't know much about SafeMoon. More of my riskier cryptos are SHIB and Doge. I don't really need to like increase that risk profile. You're doing a great thing. Feel free to piss this $5 up the wall. Ferris, keep up here. I'm here since May and I've listened to you and learning new things every day. Shout out. What's going on, Luke? Him at Loopring is said to be working with AMC to make their upcoming ETF. I bought their crypto over the weekend and up 35%. I didn't know about that. I thought Loopring was working with GameStop to build out their NFTs. How does the MOAS happen on AMC when the structure hasn't changed? Surely any sign of MOAS in the short term removes the buy button again. That's what something, I don't know, maybe this is a bit too cynical, but someone said, they're like, why in the CNBC article or interview didn't you say that we could go to like 100,000 or 1 million or 1 billion? Well, folks, I don't think our government would let that happen. I don't, maybe that's too cynical, but right now, the exact same rules and regulations that were in place that removed the buy button are still there. And on top of it, even if they're like, well, hang on, we have more collateral, we'll let it run a bit more. I don't see in a world in which our government does not step in and intervene, because I don't think they're going to want the market makers to blow up, because right now too few players, as in Citadel Securities and Virtu, has too much power. It would be a risk to the overall system. I strongly believe when people talk about the MOAS and these numbers, like, would they let it go to a certain number? Well, yeah, but there's also a point where value X represents systemic risk. And I just think that the government's going to step in and be like, no, we are not going to allow that. So to be able to allow it, that means we need to improve and fix the current rules and regulations and ensure that them ripping away the buy button cannot legally happen again. So right now, people have their fingers crossed for a different outcome when the scenario, the technical setup is the exact same as in the market structure setup. How can we hope for a different scenario when the market structure is no different? That doesn't make sense to me. To me, we need to fix the market structure, and then we have the opportunity, at least the potential of a different outcome. So for me, that should be the main focus, is like fix the downfalls of regulation, and then we at least have that shot. Bro, don't ever say that again, especially not at your age, in a world that's not ready for such dangerous nonsense. That let it happen thought comes from people wanting to get rich and selfish and make us no better than greedy hedge funds. How does the MOAS? All right, we did that. Matt Rants always work. Does anyone know where Don went? I'm a loyal follower, but I don't like you. What's going on? Not a hedge fund. Stop calling me human, Matt. What's going on, Matt? Stuck suspenders. Brendan Burns, yeah, I was surprised you were buff too, homie. I just don't get it, because you guys see me all day. And I guess it was more of like the side view, but I don't know. I don't get it. We've hung out every day with each other. I thought you guys have seen my body before. Good morning, Matt. Great work climbing stair Everest. Opinion on OCGN OS of it being a binary on November 3rd and breakout 1350-ish with 27% short said net flying. OCGN. OCGN. Let's check out the daily. Oh, it's looking good. A nice gap up. I mean, obviously be careful about this gap fill. And then you're looking for a breakout at whatever this is at 1323. I think you asked about 1350. So, I mean, it got rejected there now for the second time. But if your question is 1350, November 3rd, I mean, it sounds like if that's positive, you might get enough demand to get that breakout, but it is looking kind of nice. Like, I do like it. A bit chasey though if you don't already have a position, but if you do, I would kick back and enjoy it. Let the Gregs go. Justin made me do this. Stay awesome, Matt. What's going on? Matt Kohrs for president. Grow up. What's going on, Jason? Some people will complain if you hang them with the new robe AMC to Pluto. It's just all those who spent their energy on hate. Love is the way. Hard work is the way. Compassion is the way. Respect of our differences is the way. Congrats, Matt. Your success is undeniable. I felt compelled to send you the 5F the haters and happy November. What's going on, Cootery? I thought I was going to pass, but you ruined that. Thanks for nothing. All right. Not a hedge fund. That's hilarious. Haters, people who secretly wish to be you, appreciate all you do for the community. Keep it up. What's going on, Ryan? I appreciate that. What do you think about the gap play on Visa? By the way, love what you do. Visa. The gap fill play. I like it. I do. Especially because your risk is pretty well defined. You could risk 200, 203. If you really want to keep it tight, you can risk 208, which is $6. And then you're looking for a potential upside to $15. The risk reward on playing the gap fill right now on Visa is pretty high. Obviously, its earnings wasn't the best. It's been in a bit of a bear trend. But if you're okay with like keeping just a solid trading plan and like acknowledging your own risk, I mean, that's good stuff. I mean, I think it's a good setup. I don't know how it's going to particularly play out, but it's a well-defined trade. 7 months since I've been out of the running for employee of the month. What's going on, Eric? Matt, your emotions are turning me on. Jokes aside, I watch you daily and I've come to appreciate everything you have done for me in stocks and community. Shout out, Trevor. That's very kind of you. I thought I bought SHIB in May for 100 and I own 51 million shares. The amount of profit so far is unbelievable. Question: how does SHIB burning goings? How does Shiba burning? How's it going to work? So basically, they're just cutting out the supply. Right now, there's about 400 trillion. And remember, price is the equilibrium of supply and demand. So if the demand is the same or even increases, well, the price is going to increase. You want to also drop supply. So let's say demand is constant, but supply is going down, that increases price. So one of the best ways, in my opinion, for SHIB to continue higher is actually by burning, because you want less supply. Because I don't think the demand is going to go anywhere in the short term. So for me, I would argue did we gap fill already on Tesla? For me, that's, I think, right now, one of the most interesting things related to SHIB is if we cut supply down, as in burning, and that's basically when they're just sending it to like a dead wallet and it's out of circulation and it's not going to be used again. I think that's going to benefit the price of SHIB. Now, there is a plays list right now, the SHIB playlist. You can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, that the revenue is basically being used to burn. But on top of that, the one that I think will have a bigger impact is the SHIB dev team is coming up with their own NFTs, and the minting and transferring of those NFTs will be related to burning. So that's another way to help cut supply. Holy damn, Matt, nice effing eyebrows. Thank you. My opinion on the crypto play Luffy. Danger D, Luffy. I've never heard of it. So when it comes to crypto, I like to know more about the project. That's kind of how I pick my investments, is picking the projects that like seem to me to make sense. I just don't know about Luffy. Sweetheart, you spend half your time wearing duck paraphernalia. It hardly has us going, yeah, I bet he lifts. By the way, can you explain what Chasey is? So like when a stock's just already running so much, people like FOMO buying, like, so they already see it running and they're like, oh, well, hang on. Like if I chase it, it could keep going. But when you're chasing like that, and you're far away from your own risk point, you're risking being a bag holder. So Chasey, I think, is going to be more defined on your time frame, because Chasing on a daily chart could be very different on an intraday chart depending on your levels. So whatever the time frame is, I would define it more as like how far away from risk are you. If you're very far, to me, that's more of a chasey thing, and you're increasing your risk specifically of being a bag holder. Bruh, Matlin Manson, too funny. Hello, love it. Oh, the thumbnail. The thumbnail. The thumbnails are what keeps me going. So AMC's chasey. I don't think so, because you have support at 34. So it's like, it's more of, are you okay with like a $2 risk at this point? If like, and that's more of a short time frame. Obviously, a bigger time frame, you could pick a different risk point. So once again, it's kind of in the eyes of the beholder of how much do you want to risk, what's your time frame. The list goes on and on and on. But right now, AMC is looking very good. Check this out, actually. AMC's almost back into this trend, and I would love this push of 37.70 or even better, 38.80. Let's get that gap fill. But look at this. We're almost back in the trend. In fact, today's high, like cents away from touching this trend line. We're seeing some of the momentum. You can feel it bending back around. The MACD is getting smaller and smaller, hopefully going into the green territory at some point this week. But just checking out the momentum. All right. And then GameStop also looking good, pushing 190. Remember, that's been serious resistance that GME has had problems with. Serious, like, look at this. Look at all these rejections from October 11th until the 21st between 188 and 190. We are pushing that right now. And I think confirmation would be if we close above the high from October 19th, which would be 192.18. Right now we're at 189. GME's up 3.12%. AMC's up 2.5%. Happy Monday, Matt. Could you please take a look at MAT? I have a thesis that they entered the world of NFTs and went long on it a while ago. Let me check this out. MAT. I mean, it's been on a nice run right here. A nice little, but not that big. Like, it looks very nice, but the range is kind of small. Like, even this crazy run has been, I guess, what, $4 basically, ever since October. But like, the chart is looking nice. You're just coming up to resistance right now. Buying at resistance is kind of tough because you're basically betting on like a breakout at the moment it happens at resistance. But if this gets pushing above 22.50, 23, this could keep going. GME looking good. AMC looking good. I wish Tesla would start to look good. Come on, Tesla. You're embarrassing me. Thoughts on SKLZ? Kathy Wood loading up. Think it's a sleeper short squeeze in the waiting. Thanks for all you do. Why do you think? Let me see if it's a short squeeze in the waiting. I don't think it's a good idea to hunt for short squeezes. This does have a high short interest though, 22.6%. Shares on loan, 92 million. So it's more of a medium to higher float. If it was an FTD short squeeze, I would definitely prefer it being a smaller float. Utilization 99%, cost to borrow 20%. So it has some interesting metrics. But what I find out more interesting about this situation is Kathy Wood getting involved. I would want to know her reasoning. And usually they have write-ups. So I would hop into that. I particularly like chasing just short squeeze plays. I don't think that's necessarily a good methodology. I think a lot of people were brought into the world of trading by AMC and Jimmy, which is good, but I think it's also the yin and yang of the situation is I'm happy way more people are involved in the market, but it's also gotten people to think that these types of squeezes happen all the time, and they just don't. What are my thinking about Mara? I'd prefer just to buy Bitcoin directly. Greg Millen. Yeah, AMC. I tweeted that out this morning. Okay, reading my Photoshop message, just shake your head. If not, I'm perfectly serious. It looks like that's what's happening. If it's happening to others, hear that answer some question. You reading your Photoshop message? Wait, Brendan, I'm missing something. Matt, any totally real relationship advice you can share for your totally real relationship with your totally real girlfriend? Thanks for, I could come up with a new piece of relationship advice, give you guys a couple secrets here and there. I'll have to come up with one. Oh, I need to share. We have plenty of time. It's 10:15 and the stocks are looking good. So as these things continue to look amazing, let me share the robbery story with you. So very quickly, profile right here. This was nuts. Where is it? Right here. Just watched a robbery occur in broad daylight. No one got hurt. Philly is wild. And this was on the 30th. And wild indeed. So sit back, relax, kick your feet up. And I'm going to share the story of Saturday, October 30th. So there I was. I woke up and I was like, Carpe freaking diem, Matt. You're going to have a good day. You're going to get work done. You're going to get an interview posted and you're going to hit the gym and you're going to make the weights sorry that they ever heard your name. I'm crushing it. I'm firing at all cylinders, just going. Like seriously, like Carpe freaking diem. I'm in full on thick Kohrs mode and I'm getting there. And I did all my work, my YouTube work. And then I'm at my kitchen and I'm looking up some pre-workout and I'm like whatever that suggested amount is, tripling it, quadrupling it. And I could feel freaking like ox adrenaline running through my veins. Like I just took too much pre-workout. I get to the gym and I am picture Usain Bolt, but also on Mount Everest. So I am like sprinting up this stair stepper and I crushed like 200 flights in 30 minutes. Like I am literally Usain Bolt, but on Mount Everest. It's crazy. And then I was like, you don't just stop there. I crushed the stair stepper for just over 30 minutes. Of course, I care about my body, my posture. So I do a little bit of stretching after. I was like, all right, time to lift. And I'm lifting. I'm doing back and buys. I have a strong back. So I always like that. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling jacked up. And I go and I'm leaving. And on the way out, I was like, Matt, you've seized this day so freaking well. You deserve a little like treat. I'm one of these people that you do something, you give yourself a little treat. So I get this, they call it like an Elvis protein shake. Basically, it's just like chocolate and peanut butter and a banana and some protein powder. And I'm driving back and the day is great. It feels like freaking Cinderella Snow White. The birds are singing. It's sunny. I'm listening to T Swift. I'm banging out and I'm driving back. And where I park my car is this little like side alley thing. And when I come around the alley, it's a very narrow road. I see a person looking at me and I think it's like a subconscious thing, but sometimes like right away in your first couple microseconds, you see something's going on someone's face. And then this said person kept looking at me. I was like, this is weird. And I'm like, does he also like Taylor Swift? So I don't know. I'm trying to feel the situation out. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. So I drive past and I expertly, like Mark Sinclair, parallel park my car. And I'm sitting there waiting for the song to finish. And I'm just bebopping along, listen to the bops. And then I looked back at where this person was and I was like, that's weird. And now there was 2 other people there. They were like around this building that I didn't see at first. So there's 3 guys and I just see them like rummaging through a couple bags. I didn't know how many bags there were, but they were just like rummaging through their bags. And I was like, wait, this is really weird. And then it struck me. I was like, is this like, did they steal shit? Like, that's weird. So there I am. And so I'm still in the car. I just parallel parked and I took my phone. I was like, this could be a situation. So I was like, what would Sherlock Holmes do? What would Benedict Cumberbatch do? I was like, oh, they would just take a photo just in case it is something. So there I am, like the grandma neighborhood watch, and I'm taking a picture in the reflection of my mirror, my side mirror. I'm like, click, 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 click. I was like, this could be weird, but also me, the mathematician that I am, I'm like, all right, there's 3 of those guys. There's 1 of you, and your legs feel like jello. And beyond that, you're kind of weak, and you have no fighting ability. So right away, I was like, Matt, this is not the time for you to engage unless you want to lose. And I was like, do I want to lose? Nah, it would be good content. It would be a cool story, but I just don't feel like having my face beat in today. So whatever. So when I went to parallel park, I drove past them and now they're walking towards me right after I snapped these pictures. And I was like, uh-oh, do they see me taking the pictures? So I do one of those things where you like lock your door and you like just kind of sit back. You're like, ooh. And then I'm still looking in the mirror. I'm watching them and I'm just like, I'm getting ready. You know, I'm getting ready. I'm like trying to, if I needed to, I was trying to go full Hulk Hogan, like a mixture of Hulk Hogan and thick Kohrs. And I see in the mirror as they're getting closer, there's a couple that walked out and they were quick. They were frantic. A guy and a girl couple. They were frantic. She was more frantic. She sees here, I believe it's a Vera Bradley bag, which I'm learning from later in this story. And she's like, whoa, what's going on? And then this guy walks up and I'm getting out of my car because I'm like, this is interesting. So now I'm there, but I'm still kind of by my car. I don't know, probably not my best defensive move. But anyway, the 3 guys are now past me. And at that moment in time, I estimate their age to be about 16. They were young. And I'm like, these kids are so stupid. They just made a really, really dumb mistake. And anyway, the guy runs up to him from the couple. We'll call him Mr. Redshirt because he was in a red shirt. So Mr. Redshirt runs up to these 3 guys. He's like, oh, like these bags were just taken out of my car. Like, did you see what's going on? And they're like, no, like we don't know what's going on. We're just like walking through. And I was like, are these people gaslighting me? I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And no one heard me. So I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then they all look at me, Mr. Redshirt and the 3 guys. I was like, you guys just did it. And they're like, huh? He's like, he just asked you if you saw who the robbery was, but you guys did it. And I was like, Matt, maybe you shouldn't be saying this. Like, so on the outside, I'm acting like calm, cool, collected, but like a duck, they look calm on the surface, but underneath your feet are going crazy. So underneath, like internally, I was like, I don't know if you should be saying this so blatantly. I was like, you guys stole it. So there's these 3 robbers looking at me, Mr. Redshirt's in the middle. I was like, you are the robbers. And they're like, what? And then Mr. Redshirt's like, let me see in your bag. And then they open up the bag and it must have had multiple pockets because they're like, look, nothing in there. And then like, you hear the girlfriend in the back. She's still freaking frantic. She's like, they took my computers. And then he's like, did you take her computers? And they're like, no, we didn't. I was like, yes, you did. I saw you open the other bag. And then the guy, and like, now they're like, we don't need to open the bag. I was like, I saw you steal these. And so now Mr. Redshirt, he just pulls it and they're going. I was like, oh, this is insane. So right away, after the first time I had said that they were the thieves, the girl started calling the cops and she's loud. She's animated. Mr. Redshirt, being the boyfriend he is, he's like, I'm going to get these laptops back. So he pulls the backpack. They're freaking off and they freaking out and they start to run and he's chasing them. But little secret here about Philly is there's certain areas you do not chase 3 robbers to. Like, you just don't do that. That's stupid. And there's certain street cutoffs that you kind of don't run more north than that. And I see him book after these 3 guys. And the girl's running at me and she's like, what's going on? And she's like, and the cops were on the phone. And she's like, I don't know where we are. It turns out they're from out of town, and like the car basically got broken into and they took these bags out. And so she gives me the phone. And now I'm talking to the cops. And I see this guy book off after these 3 people, which is the dumbest thing to do. So now I'm running after him with the phone in my hand, and the guy had put the 2 laptops on the ground at somewhere in the middle there after getting the laptops. So I scoop up these 2 laptops. I have the girl's phone. She's behind me yelling. And now I'm running after this guy because I'm like, dude, you're going to get shot or stabbed. You just got to stop. So like I chased this kid down. I was like, seriously, just stop. Let them go. This is stupid. You're dumb. Crazy. So I get him to stop. He's amped up. I now have 2 random laptops in my hand. I'm talking to the cops. They're like, where are you? I was like, we're north on street, whatever. And they're like, where's that? I was like, listen, freaking Lewis and Clark, I just told you where we are. Use the goddamn coordinates. They ended up meeting us back at ground zero. And we're there, and then we're looking in the bag. And this is what was weird about it, is like I said, if I had to estimate, it was like 3 16-year-olds, and they were just being dum-dums. Like you look in the bag, and they just had like bolt cutters, screwdrivers, and like razors and stuff like to cut. And I was like, what? Like they were just dumbasses being dumbasses. And fortunately, the lady, she got all of her stuff back. I think she lost her wallet. They must have pocketed her wallet, but with that, like, not many people have cash anymore, so you just cancel all your cards. So if anything, it's just like a big inconvenience. But it was crazy. And it all just started with me doing a stair stepper. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a good day. And then not a good day for her. But I don't think anything's going to happen. They're like, what's your name? And I was like, Matt. I was like, you probably know my YouTube channel. And they're like, what? This is the cop. He's like, who? What? Shut up. I was like, okay, here's my name and my number. They're like, we're going to need those pictures. And I was like, you're not going to find them, but all right, bye. And in the end, no one really got hurt. A high majority of her belongings were returned. And I like to think that I stopped that Mr. Red Shirt man from getting his face beat in. That's the story of Saturday, October 30th, Mischief Day. And I'm not going to lie, it did make me start to Google citizen's arrest and like what is involved in a citizen's arrest. So this might be the birth of my like vigilante career now that I've Googled for about 120 seconds how you can do a citizen's arrest. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe kind of taking a Batman route in this type of, I don't know. I need to look into it. If there's any people who have previously had involvement with citizens arrest, let me know. Might be a possibility. You brought justice, Batman, or Superman. Thick snitch Kohrs. You know, I think that the couple was very happy that I returned their computers, because you shouldn't be robbing people in broad daylight like that. You know, at one point when Mr. Redshirt guy was very far ahead of me, and there like was I'm running after him, and there's an Amazon worker, like an Amazon delivery person. She was so funny, like not under her breath, but kind of quiet. As I was running past her, I hear the Amazon delivery being like, he should not chase them. Like, she was so funny. And like, she just like, it was so just matter of fact. She was like, do not do that. Oh man. Life is crazy. What's your name? I'm Matt Man. You described my 4 years at Temple in one story. Yeah. Not Batman. Mattman, what's going on? November-y. Do you know anything about Polkadot? I do not. I'm interested. I'll have to look that in. I think it's definitely a popular one that I should know more about. I need to look into it. I've never done a call, but see UVXY tipping up is the perfect time to buy a big call on AMC. Any thoughts? I think right now the enthusiasm in AMC is like getting it way, way closer to a good opportunity. And it's going to be more dependent on your time frame. Like if you get something like a little bit out of the money, but give yourself enough time, I think that's a strong opportunity then. So it's more of the time. Hey, Matt, bought calls for INTC on Thursday, debating on selling right now, but not sure if I should wait for the possible gap fill. Can you take a look? INTC. Oh, I mean, if I were you, like, who knows? Maybe I'd be right, maybe it'd be wrong, but I would try to hold it out because, like, you might be able to ride some to 50, 55, maybe halfway through the gap, roughly at, what is this, 52-ish. And then from there, if you're feeling good, the full gap fill. I don't know what your time frame is though. You have calls. Like if you're talking about calls, like you have to kind of also know the time. Like if you have a lot of time, ride it out. But if you played it for like this week, well, maybe ride it a little bit, but don't let theta destroy you. AMC crushing it, up 4.4%. GME really crushing it, up almost 6%. Tesla coming back around. I really need this to break and run or I'm going to get screwed. I should have taken my position out at break even when I had the opportunity today. Chris, alibis are always so lengthy. Matt Man. I'm Matt Man. And I already have the voice changer. I'll just have to carry around the Go XLR with me, which would be funny because it's large. I'm just like,
I'm Matt Man. You will not steal this laptop.
it would honestly be one of the worst decisions I've ever made because I am in no way, in any way, a fighter. My fighting experience, I would say, is 2 chapters. I've watched all of the Rocky movies, and I've seen quite a bit of Walker, Texas Ranger when I was younger. So if seeing most of Walker, Texas Ranger and all of Rocky makes you a good fighter, then yeah, maybe I'm a good fighter. Some of you are probably going to argue that, no, that doesn't give you any fighting ability. I don't know. I'd beg to differ, but like if you're true, like if that's accurate, well, then I have no fighting ability. So it's up to you. Up to you. Amazon lady immediately identifies your inability to handle the situation if you catch up. She's just like, oh, we've been here before. My power was in my words to get that guy. And it was more of along the lines of, hey, don't do that. And he was like, wait, what? I was like, do not chase them. You're going into an area you should not be going into. Very disappointed in you. To acknowledge Sherlock Holmes as Cumberbatch, you should have been Robert Downey Jr. You would have had stopped in the beginning. I think that's more, so I like them both. It's probably just because I've seen the Cumberbatch ones more recently, like the BBC kind of like longer episode ones that are each like an hour and a half. Really, really good. I can't believe you didn't say to the cops, don't you know who I am? They may have said you're the guy who doesn't own any AMC. Oh, man. Can you check out the AABB ticker? They have AABBG crypto backed by gold, and they have their own crypt exchange platform coming soon. AABB. AABB. Oh, baby. Schitt's Creek is so funny. It's not on it's on the OTC market. I wouldn't mess around with that. Hey, Batman, did you see that Elon agreed to sell $6 billion in stock if the UN can prove that it would solve world hunger? I did see that, but he is completely right. Like, his breakdown of what's going on, he would too. He'd be like, no, if you can prove it, he said he would sell that share. But like, they're just saying it to say something. There's I guess whoever wrote the first thing, it's just like an anti-rich person movement. But like he's like, if you can prove it, he'll do it. AABB, not my cup of tea. How's BBKT? BKKT previously known. The artist previously known as VIH, pushing 40. That's pretty strong, running with crypto. Bitcoin right now, Ethereum still looking good, blah, 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 blah. Oh, just so you know, so public, this was part of my proof, just so everyone knows, right? Right here, you can see my portfolio. So if you go to public.com/MattKohrs, first of all, sign up. Free trading. You get up to $70 of free stock. No payment for order flow. Once again, no payment for order flow. And on top of that, you can see the things that I'm in. So right now, if you go on public to my account, Matt Kohrs, with my little duck emoji, you can actively see what I'm in. And like you saw people who were lying about it, whether they like Photoshop the picture or something, they're like, look, no AMC. Now, if you look in this, there's not going to be GME. I've expressed to you over the past 3 or 4 weeks that I'm attempting to switch from Voyager to public, and the transfer failed. So I'm in the middle of trying to figure out the best way to do it. I'm starting to think the best way to do it would be to deposit the money and just do it like kind of manually and like just buy my same amount. I don't know, but my switch from Webull to public did fail, but I want all of my AMC and GME to live in public. I don't want my stuff to really live in Webull. I've just been having an issue with the transfer myself. Public, I emailed public and they're like, yeah, your transfer failed. We don't know why. And I was like, can you do anything? And they're like, we don't know why it failed. I was like, this does not seem helpful to me. So I'm in the middle of trying to figure that out. But when it goes through, you guys will all be able to see on my public account that I have AMC and GME. Like it'll be sitting there. And you can literally check that out right now if you so desire. Hey, Matt, my office supervisor keeps sending me emails and expecting me to do work. Can you make that stop? Thanks. Hunter. Yes. Well, I actually think you need to attack it with a different situation. What you need to do is concisely, but yet also like in a terse manner, make it very brief. Act as if you're working on something that is like out of their purview. Be like, I'm working on a project that it's above your pay grade. Tell them that you're working on something above their pay grade and be like, I would love to loop you in. You just don't have the right credentials right now. But just so you know, a lot of crazy work is being done in the background. And I would love to loop you in. I just can't right now. So deflect. I think that's a good thing that we could all do with our bosses today. Just be like, sorry, I don't think you have the right credentials to be informed of what I'm currently working on. Your special fight move is wrapping around and then giving them a short squeeze. But you lift, bro. FYI, earlier message was about someone effing with my personal relationships with cyber influence. Want to know if other apes had same cyber personal relationships with cyber influence. I'm sure that's happened a lot. I'm like, it's had to happen a ton. And maybe once again, maybe my tinfoil hat's a little bit too tight, but I fully believe, whether it's to be trolls or if they're paid actors, I believe our group is infiltrated by various accounts. It's so easy to spot these accounts that are just like, all they try to do is cause like division, and what it is they try to get you focused on these other random things that have nothing to do with our actual cause. I think their goal is to get us divided as a group and to prompt a lot of infighting and to get us focused away from the true task at hand, if I had to guess. But like it's so obvious, and if you notice that, just block them, delete them, get rid of them, call them out. Like there's just so many people or so many social media accounts who clearly are bad actors. And for me, it's just block and I move on with my life. Thoughts on Voozy up 12%. What is this little guy doing? This is having a nice push. I mean, it's literally at resistance right now from late September, but if it pushes above this, I'd be interested in watching the low 13s. Is it safe to sell AMC call options? Is it safe? I don't know how you're defining safe, I suppose. Okay, so if you sell call options, if you get to that expiration date and you're below the price, you get the premium. You just made money, your P&L is greater, and now you can buy more AMC. But if you're wrong, and if it goes above that price, you're risking losing your shares. So you'll be able to ride the profit up to that point, but you're going to miss all that extra if you just held it. So that's like the bad scenario. So you keep the premium, but you might lose out on profit if it runs past whatever the strike price is. That's something, if it gets close, you could always buy them back and just take the loss on the difference between what you sold them for and what you bought them for if you want to keep your shares. Is it safe? Yeah, in terms of like, you're not going to blow up your account, but you're also like risking maybe making less profit. And if it happens to be during like some squeeze, you're risking losing out on a lot of profit. But I guess I would say safe because you're not going to like lose all of your money. Like you're not risking your entire account or anything like that. Trick or treat story. As kids came to my door, I started noticing packs of condoms in their bags. Hilarious and creepy all at once. Kids gonna be mad. Oh, man. Someone photoshopped someone I care about into a thing. It most definitely couldn't be her. Relationship problem served forever. Brendan, I mean, that's personally happened to me. People like, there was a period there where people were posting pictures of like my ex super real girlfriend, different person than my current real girlfriend. And it's embarrassing. And it just kind of shows how people are like actual assholes in this world. Like just bad people who are just complete dicks to get someone else involved in it who has like nothing to do at all. Like, it's kind of like the look at, I'm really good at searching people on Facebook, clicking on photos and looking at old photos. Like, okay, Sherlock, like that's crazy detective work. But it's just like, why are they getting other people involved? I think it shows that they're scummy people. AMC, good. I like AMC right here. Look at this. Back in the wedge on the daily. Would love just a close above this trend line is a win, and obviously the higher the better. But I really like that this is shaping up to be a fake out breakdown. That's exciting stuff. And for GME, also looking good. Look, it popped above it, got smacked, but like, hey, we're starting to soak up that supply. And above this, and then I'm obviously watching the key psychological level of 200. Hey, Matt, I saw you and Trey's documentary with Melissa Lee. Great job. Felt very energetic afterwards. Yeah, I mean, I know some people, I don't know. It was received well by most people. I think the people who didn't receive it well were the same people who are just your random keyboard warriors. In my personal opinion, it was a very fair estimation of what's going on. I saw a lot of GameStop purists getting pissed off about it, but just understand, there are various GameStop specific documentaries coming out that, like, I mean, I know it because I'm in them. They're just not out yet. Like, they're going to be coming. It's a huge story. There's already been some. Like, everyone just needs to. We're in this world where people, like, if they don't get exactly what they want every single day, they're like mad about it. But hey, it was a fair one. It spread the word. Look at this. It's very rare that you see AMC have a good day and GME not, or GME have a good day and AMC not. As much as you want to say it, they're still very intertwined. What's good for one of them, there's a strong argument is good for both of them. And people who don't see that, look at the charts, look at the similarities in the chart. Like, yeah, you want both of these to get moving, and they're probably going to do it together. What else do we have? I think a lot of toxicity comes from people over leveraging themselves. Yeah, well, I think it's a lot of people who want essentially something for nothing. A lot of people think that they could put $500, $1,000 into a lotto call and they're like, this is going to make me a multi-millionaire. And I think part of that is because there's a handful of smaller creators who are trying to make it. So they tell you absurd, outlandish, hyperbolic things such as that, of like how a little bit of money is going to make you a gazillionaire like within a day. They're setting expectations way too high, and they don't care about the actual community. They care about trying to be liked so they can grow. And it's really, really sad. It's an extraordinarily sad that they think that's the best way. They're like, well, if I say something that's crazy and people are going to like it because I'm confirming to their bias, I'll get more likes and views and adulations, when really they're setting up, I guess, the community for failure. I mean, I was recently watching some videos of people saying, like, why has it not squeezed? And they're like, dark pools, options trading, and like something else. And I was just like, you just don't know what you're talking about, like, at all. And they're setting up these things and they're like, this is why we're not at some like multi-million-dollar level per share. And like, they just come up with crazy things. And I don't know. Like, that's one way you could do it, I suppose. I think it's a highly immoral, but I don't know. To each their own. Matt, in your opinion, is it a good thing to buy a plug, or should I wait for a dip? When it comes to EV, I track Tesla and Lucid a lot more than I track things like plug. I'm kind of a fan of fuel cell, which actually someone just asked about. I like fuel cell. There's a lot of good plays. So if you want exposure to that sector in general, you could check out Kathy Wood, back to her ETF that tracks the autonomous EV sector, ARKQ, ARKQ. Distracted me from this and my other things for a month. Even sent security to her house. Thought she was under duress. That's crazy. I'm so sorry you're going through that, and I'm very obviously sorry for her that she's probably not feeling like, it's insane. People are insane out there. Thick boy, is hot chips still the trend line? I'm trying to think of what it is. I think all the hot chip challenges expired last week. I think we need some new ones. Yeah, the Tesla one was Friday at 12:50. Obviously, that didn't hit yet. AMC has been around 47.50. We need some new hot chip challenges. Someone said Shiba is strong. Where are we at? It's strong. I wish it were a bit stronger. I wish it were breaking out of 75, but it's coiling. It looks like Shiba is coiling for a move. Tesla, hopefully moving to a new all-time high. I'm definitely down money right now. DRIV is a good autonomous and EV ETF. Yeah, I'm familiar with Drive. That's another one. Non-financial opinion, 45 call on AMC 1126. So 1126 the end. Right now, the volatility is still not that high, so I don't think it's that favorable of a time to go long on calls. But if you do, yeah, I'd probably go closer to at the money if I had to. But right now, I still don't personally think this is an ideal time to do it. Biden reduced tariffs on aluminum. Harley Davidson jumped $40 in pre-market. Do you see any other areas in the market that would be impacted by this? Aluminum. Not off the top of my head, Brambles. Yeezus, yeah, I still have those DWAC puts. Thoughts on AVAX, AVAX, AVAX. What is this? Oh, it appears to be another crypto. It looks like it's trying to break out. I just don't know much about it though. Manuel. Don't know much about it. Tesla having a very nice day. IWM, look at this. IWM, AMC moving very, very nicely. Small cap sector crushing it. Tesla about to run to a new all-time high. And on that note, quick coffee break. I thought this was a one-day play, isn't it? It's going to take a breather as long as tulips do. What's going on, Peter van den Kloot? Peter van den Kloot. You never know about tulips. Tulips is still a core. It's a keystone to my investment portfolio. 99% tulips, 1% everything else. All right. Tesla, let's get going. I'll be lucky to be break even right now. Nope. Instead, I'm down by 14%. Sick. New all-time high, still down 14%. Sick. Everyone on this side of the Mississippi, they might be laughing at me now, but you just wait till this is over. You just wait till this is over. I'll get the last laugh, especially on this side of the Mississippi. FWBI, can you do a quick check? FWBI. Biotech. NASDAQ biotech play. Hey, it's waking up. Might be like kind of catching a falling knife though. This thing has gone from 26 down. It's clearly a bearish. Oh wait, all this thing has done is ever go down. I'd be careful with that. If you want to get into it like a quick in and out thing, maybe there's an opportunity there. But like when you zoom out, I've never really seen a bullish trend in this stock. Which side of the Mississippi? Yes. Prague update. Prague just kind of chilling right now in the mid threes. It's definitely settled there. We're kind of just waiting on Prague to move. Like right now, I don't even know if there's like an active trend on Prague. I'm in Prague, just so everyone knows. I have calls on Prague. I also bought Prague. I like Prague. I think there's an opportunity for a squeeze, but I actually just like it as a company. I like where it's going, so I wouldn't mind holding on to it. So I bought some calls just in case there's a squeeze in the short term, but I bought shares just to hold and hold and hold. They'll see, they'll all see. That'll be the queen of summertime. King, heroic masculinity is back. What's going on, Brendan? All right, Tesla, new all-time high. I'm still down. AMC hit an intraday high of 37.11. GME hit an intraday high of 195.50. AMC, GME looking good. Tesla looking good. Market, not the best intraday. It did hit a new all-time high, though, this morning. The Qs swinging back around. IWM looking very good. How is DWAC looking? Choppy, a little bit weak. ANY having a nice movement. Is that because of crypto? Matic looking for that breakout. Ethereum looking for that breakout. SHIB, in my opinion, still looking strong. PHUN, I'm kind of done with this. Just this was a big rumor play related to DWAC. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I'm getting crushed on Hex right now, unfortunately. But still holding. Can you better explain to the options rook how you still don't, even though Tesla's up? Thanks, my dude. Because remember, options pricing is from the value of the equity, or ATF. It is from the time until expiration and volatility. Tesla's volatility has died off and we're closer to expiration, and that negative has been a greater impact on me than the new price. Options are not just the price of the equity. It is very different to have 1,150 today than it was yesterday. Very, very different. And I think people are getting involved in options way too early without understanding what really goes into the pricing of them. If you just look at the price of the equity, that's not it. That's a third of the battle. Just a third. There's massive other aspects of options pricing that you have to consider. LCID, someone said turning around. Yes. XPEV had a very good deliveries report. So it is up 3%, but not holding right now. Wait, Tesla. Why did Lucid just go everywhere? What did I do? How is that possible? Impressive, but I don't know what I did to do that. GME looking good, AMC looking good, Tesla looking good. We're seeing some green in these three equities at least. What else is any other crazy things to pay attention to today? But Luis, to follow up with you a little bit more, you could check out the trading options playlist on this channel. It's a great like intro just to the terms and how things come about, but check that out. Especially for any of you out there, it is completely free. Just look for the trading options playlist. It's on this channel. It's free. Anyone has access to it. I think that's a good place to get started, especially before you are spending any money on like an options course or anything like that. So what would have to happen for your Tesla position to go positive at this point? Basically for Tesla to continue upward, but ideally in a more volatile manner. So like not just gains, but nice gains, like considerable gains. So for example, we're at like 1150 right now. If this shot up to 1200, I would be in like a decent gain right now. If this pushes 1160, I'll probably be break even. But remember, 1160 right now is very different than 1160 tomorrow. I want it to go up, but I want it to go up now, like as early as possible. AMC earnings day a week from today, November 8th, after market closes, 5 p.m. East Coast time, ET. I also think daylight saving or whatever is about to happen, just so everyone knows. I think on Sunday. So everyone, just so you know, if you're in a country that believes in that. I remember it was junior year of high school when I found out that not all countries do daylight saving and that. And apparently there's a good reason for it. Like the clock changes apparently are like really, really bad for our health. And I just thought it was something that everyone in the world did. But as you get closer to the equator, people just don't. They're like, why would we do that? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, daylight saving, their doctors and scientists have tied it to like very serious health implications for like the overall crowd health. What's the next AMC breakout you're looking for? 3880. I think there's some states that don't even do it. Yeah, so I remember when I learned that I think it was Puerto Rico doesn't do it, or maybe Costa Rica doesn't. Then I found out Arizona doesn't, and I believe Hawaii does it. Hawaii makes sense, though, because it's so south. Arizona, I don't know how that came to be, but I don't think Arizona does it either. Puerto Rico's not a state, but it's a territory. It's still a territory. Oh, so some people are saying Arizona's actually split depending on where you are. Am I still in Prague? Yes, I'm still in Prague. Crazy stuff. Hey, the more you know. The more you know. Dang, Daniel. Russell 2000 is crushing it today. Crushing it. All right, we are looking good. And where are we at? Sweet Tesla, keep going. GME, love it above 190. AMC above 3640 is great. Intraday high 3711. Lucid coming back around. Quick check on crypto. Bitcoin taking a little bit of breather. Same with Ethereum, but SHIB holding up. Matic, hopefully we get this breakout of this bear flag to the north side. To the north. China doesn't either because they actually have one time zone in the whole country. Yeah, so China, in this whole thing about times and daylight saving time, so China, the width of it spreads 5 different time zones, but they use one time, which is insane. That's a crazy fact. Fun facts with Matt facts. It spreads 5 time zones, but they use a singular time, the whole country. What will they think of next? You're leaving Voyager? No, I still have Voyager. Everyone should sign up for Voyager. The code's MATT21. Here's all the coins. Supported coins. Code MATT21. You get an extra 25 of Bitcoin. What else do we have? All right, folks. It is that time of the day. Time for me to dive into the news and see what's going on and prep for the afternoon stream. I will be back on at 3 p.m. I'll be back on for Power Hour. Power Hour with me, your boy, Matt. So I'll see you guys in about 4 hours? Yeah, 4 hours. So I'll be back. We're going to be here for Power Hour. Set your reminder. I'll get up that thumbnail so you guys can all mark it. I do appreciate all the support, and us particularly on today. I do appreciate all the outpouring of support over the weekend. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. So not only for the support, for the likes, subs, all that stuff today, but overall, quite a journey. And I'm more than happy to be doing it with all of you amazing people. I really, really am. So I will catch you later today. I just need to prep up, see what's going on in the world, and see what we could talk about and break down. AMC looking great. GME looking great. Tesla looking great. Lucid could be coming back around. Bitcoin or crypto sector, we're looking forward to find a base and kind of move off of that. But right now, we're kicking off November in a very, very bullish fashion. Hang on, I might as well just wait and see if AMC pushes right here. You know, when in Rome, is he going to push it? Is he going to do it? Now it's just messing with me. The market gods they're like, is he going to end the stream? Is he going to end it? We're all just like awkwardly waiting. Come on, 2 cents. Come on. We're getting there. Do it. Give her a good push. You'll push. Now it's just like, what's it? Watch water doesn't boil type of a deal. Feels like one of those events. Okay. So anyway, I will catch you later today. Don't forget it, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you there. Be square. Thank you. And as always, from me and Chair, best of luck in the markets.